watching this closely enough that I've changed my schedule for tomorrow, where I was going to be on the road for a couple things. I'm going to be here, making sure that we are tracking this storm, both because what Friday could bring, but making sure that we are set and ready for these cold temperatures.
A warning from Governor Andy Beshear before the extreme cold rolls in. He's advising everyone to limit the outdoor time for you this next week and make sure you're dressing appropriately. Another thing to think about is the holiday decorations. If you're someone who still has them up, Beshear says to consider taking them down before all these winds hit. And as Louisville prepares for the potential of some snow next week, JCPS is making sure parents are aware of changes to its snow day plan. That includes far fewer cancellations and more NTI days. We do know the district is planning to let families know about any weather impacts pretty early. The absolute latest would be 5 a.m. the day of. You'll be notified through the school messenger system and on social media. Students will make sure that they are prepared for any possible bad weather by taking home their computers, their Chromebooks, their chargers, other materials for the school day beforehand if it looks like there could be bad weather. And when students are home, they're going to be working on short-term NTI lessons. The district said these lessons are going to be self-paced, and the students will not be getting live online instruction from teachers. We spoke with officials from the Jefferson County Teachers Association about the idea of dropping those snow days.
I really think that is a superintendent and school board decision. Certainly, we believe that we should try to use the option that makes the most sense for the situation.
If students do have an NTI day, that means extracurricular clubs like teams and practices, all the games would be canceled. And remember, schools are already closed Monday for Martin Luther King Jr. Day. A quick heads up for parents of Hardin County school students. There is no early dismissal today. This morning, the district said it received several calls from parents who'd received a phone call or text about schools being dismissed early. But Hardin County says that is not true. If that were to happen, parents would be notified by traditional means. We'll bring you those important weather updates on air and on the free WHAS11 News app. It's also where you'll get those alerts on school delays and closings sent directly to your phone. The man who police say fled a traffic stop and caused a deadly crash was in court this morning. 26-year-old Coley Stotts is charged with murder, possession of a firearm by a convicted felon, and fleeing police. LMPD officers tried to pull him over at 33rd and Flans in the Portland neighborhood Wednesday night while driving a stolen car from Indianapolis. They say he took off when an officer turned on his lights and sirens, and he drove into the intersection of 35th and Bank Streets and hit another car. The driver was Russell Barnett Jr., who later died at the hospital. His bond is set at $1 million. He'll be back in court January 22nd. A Louisville family has closure 6 years after a deadly apartment fire. Thursday in court, a judge sentenced Denisha Peden to 46 years in prison for purposely setting a fire in 2017. It happened in the St. Denis neighborhood on Shanks Lane, killing Archimeda Riley and her 2 children. Peden pleaded guilty, admitting she set that fire in the hallway of the apartment building, trapping neighbors inside, some of them jumping out of windows to escape. In court, one of the survivors addressed Peden directly.
You've made me a puzzle that'll always miss 3 pieces. It feels like a dream, like I'm in a coma. The most haunting memory is when I realized that I got out, that they did it.
Peden's convictions include 3 counts of murder and 15 counts of wanton endangerment. She must serve each concurrently without parole. A man will spend 20 years behind bars for a deadly machete attack against his neighbors. A jury found Elvis Anderson guilty of murder from an attack in July of 2022 on Garland Avenue in the California neighborhood. According to court documents, Anderson walked up to the home of his neighbor, Devin Banks, and killed him with the machete that belonged to the victim. Documents said Anderson then used that same weapon to hurt 2 other women. He will not be eligible for parole until he is 75 years old. Right now, Kentucky State Police are looking for 2 teens who escaped a youth development center. Police say 17-year-old Marcellus Sowell and 16-year-old Daryl Goodwin were being held in Mayfield, Kentucky, and went missing Thursday night around 7:15. Both face robbery charges, and Goodwin also has been charged with possession of a handgun by a minor. Sowell is from New Albany with ties to Hardin County, and Goodwin is from Jefferson County. If you see either, you're advised not to approach them, but take a look at that number on the screen. That's what Kentucky State Police wants you to use to call them, 270-856-3721. We've learned 2 Kentucky children have died from respiratory viruses so far this winter. The state's Cabinet for Health and Family Services said 1 child died from the flu, the other from COVID-19. They say neither was vaccinated against the virus they had. Respiratory illnesses like the flu, COVID, and RSV have been on the rise this season. The CDC recommends everyone 6 months old and older to get the annual flu and COVID vaccines. Attorneys for former Clark County, Indiana Sheriff Jamie Knoll are appealing his $75,000 bond, calling it excessive and unreasonable. Knoll faces numerous charges related to corrupt business practices, official misconduct, and tax evasion. Back in November, a judge set his bond at $75,000 and ordered him to turn in his passport and most of his firearms. Attorneys are asking an appeals court to reverse the court's decision.